Yeah, let me know when you're about to go.
Oh, I started. Go ahead, give us your chant. Come on.
I'm not going to give you the full chant, but I'm going to say glory to Columbus. We did it. We won MLS Cup champions. If you didn't already know that, well, now you know. And you should pay more attention because it was amazing.
Go.
So I was actually there in the stadium, cheering them on. Got to see my team win a championship in person.
Hey, you heard
last time I'll ever get to do that.
You heard that right. Someone in Ohio watched the team that's from their place win a championship. I mean, go black. You just need to put on some black and gold, like the Terrible Tower right here. Look, black and gold, you're good to go.
Oh man, they gave us towels, right? And they're like, at one point, they're like, "Everybody, wave your towels." I'm like, "Nah."
That's a little.
I love my team, but I love my squad. But I can't do that.
If they were black with yellow writing, maybe. Were they yellow?
They were black with yellow writing.
Okay, they're trying. I mean, we have those. We have those versions. That's our alternate color. You know.
I'm not waving those flags around like some yinzer. Not happening. I'm just no.
You gotta get the Myron Cope out there. Oh, you gotta get it going, man. Sipping wine. Look at you. It's almost as if you're at Tayrathi already.
The wine.
Are you at Tayrathi already?
It was specifically picked for this podcast, so that's why we're doing it.
Perfect. I thought you were just continuing the celebration from Columbus because, that's cool. You should celebrate and enjoy it. And actually, I have hope because we have the River Hounds over here in Pittsburgh, which actually their colors are like blue or something. I don't know why. They're the only team that's not black and gold. Besides Pitt or whatever, but
I don't know why they picked black and yellow for Columbus. Didn't make any sense. But yeah, whatever.
Sure, whatever. But I'm hoping with Columbus winning that it's going to help spark the interest in Pennsylvania because I'd love the Riverhounds to become slightly bigger, worth going to a game. They have a small stadium, not Columbus's, but I don't even know. I assume it's the same league. I don't even know.
It is not the same league.
Seems like it's a level down or two.
It is like a level down. It's almost like a minor league. So, but actually, Cincinnati now has an MLS team, which I believe came out of that league. And they won the Supporter Shield this year, which is the team that finishes with the most points. So they essentially, if this was the Premier League, they would have won the league.
Oh, there you go.
The Premier League does not have a tournament. The MLS does. And the team who wins the Supporter Shield gets a bye, and they get to skip the best of three knockout round. They go straight past that. So that's the way they do it.
Okay, so it's kind of similar to the different leagues in the UK. They have a pyramid system.
It's all points based.
Yeah.
It's all points based up until the final tournament. And if you win the Supporter Shield, you kind of won.
Yeah.
But then there's also to get the cup though.
Okay, but there's no first place automatically goes up thing. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are here, everybody. It's gonna be an earlier show this week. We're recording it earlier. I don't know if I'll put it out earlier or not. I probably will because I'll forget to do anything after Thursday. Because it's the most important week of the year, Neil. Tell me what's happening. What makes this the most important?
Tayrathi. We're not calling it invitation. Classic. Classic is what it is.
Yes, I like Tayrathi Classic. Just sounds more
inclusive.
No, that's not what I was going for.
Not at all.
No. Well, this event keeps growing. Eventually, it might have to be one of those things where it's like, okay, I guess who wants to, and especially too, it's gonna if it grows much more, I might have to actually ask for some money for a ticket.
Well, yeah.
Like right now, we're still at the point where it's just like, okay, if everybody can bring some food and drink and stuff, we're good to go, type thing. You know what I mean? Like generous hosts. For the
every year you do this, and I'm like, what are you doing, man? Charge some goddamn money, like God.
I know, and I know you guys would all pay it, but also not yet. But yeah, getting back into it. We didn't record last week because I was away in Texas for work. And we got the week before that. I had no idea what it was actually episode 76 or something. I don't know. 4, 3, I don't actually I still don't know what episode it is. Do you know, Neil?
I don't remember.
Doesn't
We've been
matter.
so spotty this month. It's kind of and last.
Yeah, I mean
So
everyone can forgive us because it's the holidays,
it's the next
traveling.
one. It's
It's the one
it's the
after the
best
last one.
episode to date.
Yes. 112%. Best
Mhm.
episode today. So let's get back into it. Let's start with the fitness, Neil. Obviously, you were getting the cardio going with the hooting and hollering at the Columbus Crew game, but what else you doing to take care of your physical health?
After that, hamstring's all healed up, but I have not done anything post hamstring recovery. So
Okay, we gotta
I am
keep
unfortunately
keep working on it. You gotta keep it fresh, keep it healthy. You don't
I had
want to.
no excuse today. I've
Nope.
been taking care of a sick kid. I was at home and
Oh,
yeah, just played video games. It wasn't good. Wasn't good. This
oh.
it's an example of what not to do.
Is it
That's
one
what
of
it
the?
is. That's why I'm here. I'm here as an example of what not to do
Okay.
because I'm going to have an early checkout on Hotel Earth, and and
So,
Chuck is an
yeah,
example of what
I'm here for
to
the long haul.
do.
Um,
Yeah, if you want a late checkout, you do what Chuck's doing. You want an early checkout, you just come over this way,
well, I got a
and
question. The kid being sick, that always sucks. Was it like I'm sick, or was it like I don't really want to go to school
oh no,
sick?
dude. The day that the morning I left for he had a fever. He had got pulled out of school on Friday,
Oh,
and
okay.
I left Saturday morning. And my wife, after the game, tells me that like 2 hours after I left, he like laid down for a nap. She checked his temperature for a while. Like he spiked to 104.7.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah. So he got thrown into a tepid bath.
yep,
We just started shoving all sorts of crap into him.
yep.
Well, not me, my wife.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah, yeah. Let's be
yeah,
fair. You weren't doing
it was,
shit.
that was a real deal. But what we said at the
You're on the
school on
phone
Friday,
with
she's just like,
you're on the phone with your wife, all right, and she's like, oh, he's not feeling good. He's got his fever. It's like, oh, it's terrible. Cracking beers in the background. You're like,
yeah.
like I'm
She
not.
didn't want to tell me. She's like, I just want you to enjoy the game. Meanwhile, my son's like whole body's shutting down.
And there's probably the. Here's the thing. There's probably the part of you too that's sitting there going like, what kind of time frame do I have potentially? Because like if a kid getting sick, you either get it or you don't. It's like
Yeah, no,
it's
our whole family has been sick for like a month.
oh, so
It's
he's just the
been, and
last one.
I actually had to call off. One of the reasons why I've been missing some work lately, I had to call off because I just like one night just came out and just everything was out of this
Oh,
direction. And yeah, it was a 24-hour thing. And then he came down with something like literally 2 days later. And
poor man.
the dominoes just every time they stand back up, they get knocked back down.
The
It's just a mess.
LaRocca family just having a rough time with it. Jesus.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna
nasty over here.
over here in Pennsylvania after going to Atlanta for 6 days, coming home, then going to Canada for 4 days and coming home, and then going to Dallas, Texas for 5 days and coming home. Knocking on my wooden desk. I'm good.
Nice.
There was literally people at every no, not the Canada event was smaller. It was 30 some people. That was small. That was a good time. But apparently Atlanta there was like a stomach bug that started going around.
Yeah.
But thankfully it was all on the championship side. So somehow I
Well,
dodged it completely.
found some way into my house. It took a
Yeah.
flight.
It's
It
apparently.
ended up here. So,
And then one of coworkers in Dallas after the first day, like we woke up like where the heck is he? Like he woke up with a fever, got sick, and flew home like because he had to get home. So it was that like it was like kept in. He's like it's only gonna get worse. Like I need like okay sure you do you. But it's like one of those like I'm like
yeah.
we're all sitting there like I mean let's just get
Oh,
through this week because we but like everyone from that trip's fine too. So it's
could you imagine having to be the guy next to him on that flight?
I know it's not fun,
I
but
just
like
stayed in the hotel room, man. Spared somebody
it
the.
was well to see he was so back and forth. He's like he had a fever at night. It went away. He just was feeling like crap, so he took meds and just went home before it got worse. And I was like, sure you do
So
you.
he's not throwing up over on somebody's
Oh no
slacks.
it wasn't like that. It was just like something was happening, and he's just like I gotta hold it together till I get home, and he did.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
um
All right, good show.
yeah it's the
Good
fun of
show.
travel and but yeah anyway my fitness despite everything, this past week in Dallas was probably my worst. I did not. It was, my real job, my office job per se. So it was about 10, 11 hour days of conference and such, and then out having drinks and getting to know, because I'm a remote team, we're all fully remote, so getting to meet everybody in person. So like that was it nonstop. So I didn't have a chance to get to the hotel. I barely was getting 7, 8 hours of sleep a night, and then one night I got three, and the night before I flew home, that was fun. So don't do
Yikes.
that. But it was only 1 week. In the other weeks before, I was doing pretty good at continuing to get to the gym, even though like I was at actually even though I was at the U.S. Open narrative stuff. Me and a couple of guys were able to go to the gym, and then same thing for Canada. Me and Alex went to the gym. So, and then today was my first like day back. Like I don't have to just do general stuff. I'm like fuck it, chest day, let's go. Because tomorrow will be legs, and I'm back into the groove, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Nice.
Um, Also, I have to say it too. Like during all that travel, like I kept up on my supplements, and I was good. I was solid.
Mm,
Healthy body, healthy immune, supported as I can. So,
nice.
yeah, I'm rock and rolling, going to Tayrathi. Uh, trying to think. Let's move into hobby chat now, because that's kind of where we're gonna go. So, if you don't mind, I'll just carry on with my thoughts that are pouring out of my mouth right now.
Sure, go.
Been doing lots of prep for Tayrathi. Which is weird because it's like the same. It feels like the same pressure as getting ready for Christmas, which I'm doing at the same time. Like literally
Yeah.
Saturday, went out with my dad. We cut down our tree. Sunday, I ordered all the. I felt tired from the work trip, so like I ordered everything off of Amazon. So all the presents are coming in. Well, and then I was like, oh, I need frames for the awards, and then my mind shifted slowly into Tayrathi, like making sure that's set. I have one more major thing to do that I forgot about till I was reviewing the pack today, and I was like, oh shit. Um, but it's like right now, it's like thankfully, like I actually have a list, a document about everything for Terathi, like who's sleeping in what room, not exactly what rooms, but like who needs a bed, what house they in, um, what food do we need, what food are we eating per day, who's making it, grocery list of things I need to buy, who's buying some things, what am I buying, just stuff like that. it's it's pretty intense. And then the other big one, thankfully, was terrain. And you're bringing 5 tables.
Yeah,
Yep.
should work for 5 tables. Yeah, probably 10 pieces of terrain at least.
We
Maybe.
can do 8. It's narrative. We don't have to like make it fun. It doesn't have to be like
Yeah,
perfect. If it looks
yeah.
cool, looks cool.
I'll just throw all the boxes in there, and you can mix and match and play however you want to do it.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah, and
hopefully Dave's going to bring that fifth mat because
yes.
I do not want us to have to pretend that we're all playing water polo.
Actually, I
On a
need to
water mat.
check because I think one of the ones at the barn is also a water one for some reason. I'm checking because we have 3 Rumble Battle, but and then one desert that can also be grass, and we might have another one that's just desert or it's water. I cannot remember, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you got guys.
yeah,
Dave
we're
can grab his, and then uh, he's coming in Friday night, right?
yeah, late Friday. He's a late Friday. He
So,
knows to come Friday. He's a smart one. There's a bunch of people in chat. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna come Saturday morning. You're missing out on a full night of fun.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh
but yeah,
yeah.
but that's been my hobby is like getting ready for Terathi. We'll talk more about that because that's the show today.
Hmm.
Outside of that, I am doing the thing that's behind me and all over there, covering my entire fucking game table. Not that it's product that isn't released, but it's stuff I can't talk about because it's for something. But anyway, um, continuing that trend, and God, is it a nightmare? It's fun, but
It's
because I'm insane. But
yeah,
sometimes you're sitting there like, why did I do this? Anyway,
yeah.
Neil, how's your hobby been?
So I finished the book. The book is released, and
Nice.
for our hex map campaign, and it's all together. So the supplement is ready to go. So it's like I meant I never sent you guys this meme, but I meant to send the meme of like Frodo when he's in the volcano. He's like, it's done. Because whenever I do some shit like that, that's how it always feels. Like,
Right,
oh,
right.
it's done.
It's done.
And
Actually,
so yeah.
Carl from Out Your Way messaged me. He's pushing to get the Pennsylvania map done to bring out since it's coming out to Tayrathi.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
his printer went down. Like he had to buy $100 replacement part
Oh, his resin
to
printer.
that just came in 2 days ago, and he still had like 8 hexes he has to
Oh
print,
my goodness. But he's
which means he has to print those, then he has to paint them afterwards.
yeah,
So
he told me he's like my army won't be fully painted and this is why. I'm like that's fine. Okay, I didn't know his printer went down. Ouch.
yeah, yeah,
But also that means if your printer went down, you had time to paint your army. Come on, Carl. Get the fuck
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Bush
can't
League.
I can't say anything because he's also printing. I'm using his filament printer. He's printing something for me.
Yeah,
Uh, and he just asked me to send him the filament. He hasn't asked for money yet, so
yeah,
I probably have to slip something in his pocket. Be like, hey, here you go.
yeah, yeah. He's had some issues with that, from what I understand.
There's
He's
been
had some failed prints on that bad boy, so
yeah,
he was getting irritated this a couple weeks back. So I don't know how it's going lately.
yeah. Well, I think he's on the last piece.
Mm,
He's like cross fingers, like absolutely.
nice.
But what else about your hobby? Where's it been?
I mean, that's really
Is that
been
it?
it. Like
Okay.
whenever I hit these things, these milestones, I get done. It's not like a passion project or whatever. I drop off. I mean, I drop off. I don't look at a paintbrush.
Okay.
Um, the only thing I have been doing is I've been printing out, and this is I don't know if this counts as hobby, and I have to say this. I think the daughter's still awake, but I've been printing out Harry Potter chess pieces
Yeah,
for.
those look cool.
So, yeah, so that's the only other thing I've been doing. So
Those look very cool. That's gonna be
mm,
fun. Are you gonna paint them up too? Or are you gonna paint them with her?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint. I'm going to give them a base spray, and I'm going to do a little dry brush,
Hmm.
and then it's going to come down to crunch time by the time those things are
Oh,
done.
oh yeah, yeah.
It
Actually,
might it might just be getting a base spray. So we'll see.
actually, yeah. I keep looking like tomorrow. All the Christmas gifts arrive, so I get to wrap everything tomorrow. So don't you mean
Yeah.
like crunch times here? Oh boy, what's fun though. And I get you. Like you get kind of done with the project, need to decompress. My Cities of Sigmar, and I promise everybody, I have the videos. I'm gonna do my second Cities of Sigmar diary video here soon, maybe in the next day or so.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole army is over there in its box, built and primed. But then I had to put it away because of this other project that I can't talk
Mm-hmm.
about, and it's
Yeah.
driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But,
And yeah, just as Old World's going to be hitting, and we'll be doing the Hex campaign and everything. I promised my buddy John, so he's going to give me some Marvel Crisis Protocol for my son for Christmas in the
no, it's
trade
nice.
for actually getting his Soul Blight done. So, so I have to. That's going to be my January's project is painting for other people, which is always the best.
Well, the good news with the project I have, even though it's big, it has to be done, I think, by mid-January, and it leaves
Mhm.
me like a couple weeks, I'm sure, at least before Old World. I'll be ready. I'll be plate
Mhm.
cleared, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then like literally the only thing I have on my desk after that is I still have my Napoleonics army, which get there when I get there.
Hmm.
And then stuff that I have, like the Black Talons and a few like figurines are there for whenever I want to paint something to a high quality for fun.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
those two things don't really stress me out. But
Yeah.
I want to be cleared and ready for Old World because man, those almanacs have been so good. I'm loving
Mhm.
reading all those rules. I'm going to miss the Magic phase in 8th edition
Yeah.
because I'm a
Well,
bullshit
hey,
high elf
I want to
player.
let you know. Just jumping back into a little bit of my hobby there and
Oh yeah,
finishing up the board. It's now fully magnetized. It's 100% ready to go. I picked it up the other day.
how heavy is it?
I haven't put it on a scale, but it's heavy.
I mean, it's solid resin,
I mean,
magnets, and like a
it's
piece of
gallons of resin
yeah.
on that thing. So I mean, it's got to be at least 35 pounds. I mean, at least.
Oh, that's good. That's
It
good.
is. It's significant.
I look forward to curling it. Just
Yes.
get one on. Yep, just back and forth. No, nice, nice. But yeah. Anyway, the Old World almanacs every Monday been coming out. I do want to do a show where we just kind of walk through our thoughts and everything on it. There's been some
Mhm.
great stuff out there right now. My two favorite to listen to every week has been Squared Based podcast with Rob and Val, and then obviously Facehammer with
Mhm.
Russ over there. It's just been those two are the ones that I'm like, I want both of those groups' opinions on them immediately in my ear holes as soon as they launch.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to for the latest article, since it's out today, we're recording today. I haven't seen the videos up yet. They might be up from those guys. So that will probably be what I do tomorrow, first thing in the morning, over my coffee.
Yeah,
Just get all the
I've been kind of running behind on some of that, listening to some of those. 'Cause I got every 2 years I got to keep my license up, and we got to make sure that I got all my CUs done. Still got a few to go. Still got a few hours I got to go. So I've been listening to CUs on the drives to work instead of podcasts lately. So
hey, we can
not a whole lot of fun.
we can talk, Neil. My company's hiring.
Yeah.
It's a complete shift from what you're doing, but
Yeah.
it's remote work and you can hobby while you do it. It's not
Don't
bad.
tempt me, Fredo. Don't tempt me.
I will, and I'm gonna get you to move out here too. Just gonna.
You gotta wait till the kids go to college. So we got at least 6 years.
There's a
6 to
great
7 years.
college I went to out here. They can drive to it. It saves money. It's great. No problem. All right. Anyway, here we are. We're going to be discussing the upcoming Tayrathi Classic 2023. I'm excited, and also I'm a little. I don't want to say regretful. There's. I don't know the word to describe it. I'm excited because I love Tayrathi every year. I'm using this as a driving force to progress Tayrathi's story from My Daughter's a King.
Mm-hmm.
But after the Square Base GT, there's a big part of me that, man, I wish we were doing fantasy. It's such in my brain. Like, I love Sigmar. Well, yeah. I love Sigmar itself. Yes, this current edition's not my favorite. So then, like my brain wants to shift to nostalgia over it's even though Sigmar is a great game, I fucking love it, but it's just like.
So I'm hoping the Hex Map campaign has enough, oomph to it because of its novelty and everything that people want to play it. But I am a little bit worried that once that steamboat gets rolling, you might get a little shifted off course. So
I mean, here's the thing: you go into it, just be like, "Hey guys, if we start shifting, we're still playing this map campaign. Everyone's just army has shifted, and we've all shifted back to the old world. And let's go." Wherever you're at, stop, go.
Yeah, let's just start playing. Don't play AOS, play the other one. Yeah.
No, I think it'll be fine because I don't think we've fully corrupted everybody across this yet. I mean, I've corrupted you. You're in like Flynn.
Yeah.
And we got some of the other guys, but I don't think everybody's as in as we are.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. Anyway, let's set that aside. Fantasy's great. Part of me does wish that it was fantasy again this year, but also there's a part of me that's happy that it's not because Square Base was such a good send-off. You know what I mean? Like, so Sigmar is where we're at, and Tayrathi is ready for blood. So you ready to get into this pack and review it?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
This was actually proof that I did, in fact, look through the pack. So
there you go.
Pretty happy with myself there.
Real quick, another hobby thing. Every year, I'm not sure if I showed it on the podcast last year because I'm not sure if we were as good as we were doing last year. I think we're more consistent, slightly more professional this time. But
I don't know about professional.
Professional enough. So every year, Tayrathi buys everybody a gift. So I have them on my desk here. So last year was this lovely knife, which actually is like literally like off Amazon, like literally one of the best knives I own.
I just used it again today downstairs. So I was working on this.
This opens every Warhammer package I've received, and it's going to be hard to see, but you can see it says Tayrathi Classic, December 2022. So that was last year's price. Because every year I did something. Like 1 year was just like stickers on the shaker cup with some dice. 1 year was a little bit more personal because I forgot to do it. And I'm upping the game. Well, this year I have it right here in front of me, but I got a picture that's a little bit better. I'll put it up here. Boom. A little bit more classy this year. There's still a knife attached because Tayrathi means you got to stab somebody. That's just how it is. But a nice little wooden wine/beer opener there. This is Tayrathi Classic, December 2023. So we're continuing the trend. I have no idea what I'm doing next year, but we'll figure that out as we get there. So just close this off. So, and you know what? Just to be safe, I'm just going to turn us off. Whoa, that didn't work. There we go. Stay with me, everybody. Getting the technical difficulties going here.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yep. There we go. That looks okay enough. Yep, that's good enough for government work. All right. So the Tayrathi Classic 2023 event pack. Neil, do you have it up in front of you?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So, as usual, just like last year, event details. 5-round invitational narrative event this year using the current Age of Sigmar rules. Uh, Myself and the Barnhouse will be hosting. Event will see 2 teams of players complete for an overall score in their games. Details in the event pack are listed below in this pack. I don't know why I wrote pack twice. Probably because I wrote this while I was drinking. As usual, the constant in every pack I write that is not official to anyone else that I'm representing, there will be no sports score because if I thought you were an ass, I would not have invited you. That's mostly true. Each year we get farther and farther away
The
from that.
exception to every rule.
Yeah, exactly. All right, lists below will be 2,000 points, minimum 1 hero 3 battle line, pretty simple. And the reason you might see things like this in here that are kind of obvious to a lot of Sigmar players like us, we have new people. Just like last year, I dragged people to play Fantasy. This year, I'm dragging some people who didn't play Sigmar into Sigmar. So, because it is, and they're having fun, and it's a great game. So, this hopefully will hook them, just like I've hooked some of you guys with the Fantasy last year. All right, Battle Tome, Grand Strategies, Enhancements, Prayers, and Spells are allowed to be used with the event's Battle Pack below. Neil, what do you notice about that line right there?
Oh, well, I noticed there's something missing.
There's 2 things missing. Should we reveal it now or keep the surprise for later?
Well, I think if the people are paying attention, they may already know. So why don't we just do the big one right now? The big one is battle tactics.
Get the fuck out of here.
Play.
No, I don't give a shit. I hate battle tactics.
Nor should
so
they
much.
be in any narrative sense, according to me.
Right.
So.
I don't want them in competitive play, let alone narrative play. Oh my god. Like it's especially if new players, and like I'm not a new player, and I'm not saying I'm out there to win stuff, but like it's a lever that I don't enjoy pulling, and it feels like it takes me out of the game more than it puts me in it. Grand strategies are the opposite for me.
There's something that we're supposed to be more narrative to get you to narratively play your army, but instead it just makes you frustrated.
Well, I think at the start it did, and over time with the battle tone, battle tactics, and like it just started taking me out of it. And I keep in mind, everybody, I don't have battle tactics in here, and I don't like battle tactics. I'm a Daughters of Cain player. I can get 5 battle tactics like easy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I, as a Nurgle player, maybe there's there's definitely better Nurgle players out there than I am, but I struggle. I struggle to get like any with Nurgle. It is not easy. Not the book ones anyway. The book ones are impossible. So
that's fine. They're just not for me, and I get some people like them. So if you're out there and you're like, dude, you're dumb. Battle tactics are good. You enjoy them. Have fun. I don't like them. And people will be like, man, Chuck must be having a drink tonight because he's getting spicy. Nope, I'm drinking water. I just don't like him that much.
Yeah, no, they're terrible. We're not doing them in the Hex Map campaign either.
Yeah.
Not a
and
chance.
The other thing I took out of here, because I don't hate them, but they kind of just go against the way I enjoy this game. No battalions.
Yeah, those are not in the Hex Map campaign either. I would love to see that in your pack as well.
Yep,
it's great.
I love the old ones where you got flavor for taking specific units, and they're in the books, and they cost points.
With the exception of the ones that allowed you to essentially be a 1-drop. Those always they just ruined the because if that was a thing, then you took that thing.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. I miss the ones from 2.0, but I would rather have them been refined than scrapped. I actually debated on trying to allow those to happen in this event, but I figured that'd be too much to put on some people, because like then it's like, how do you score it? Some of them are a little wonky. Anyway.
Yeah.
Because we have new players, just like last year, models don't need to be fully painted, but at least need to be primed. And there's lots of primer at the barn right now, so if someone shows up with an unprimed army, guess what? You have 3 colors. Do you want it silver? Do you want it red? Or do you want it gray? Because we're priming it.
It's not. It's leaving the barn with something on it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Or you are.
You
will be primed or your model. Please choose.
Those are the 3 colors: red, gray, or silver. That's all you got right now. Lists do not need to be submitted because there's no real easy way to submit lists, and since it's a team format, I don't think I need to put stuff on BCP. It's going to be just kind of like a whiteboard, have some fun type thing. All armies must also have a narrative named hero. Cannot be unique hero. For instance, and what this essentially means is like, so I have my daughter's Kane. I have Tayrathi. I have an option for Tayrathi as a high gladiatrix, a high queen, slaughter queen, anything. But I don't have an option for Tayrathi to be a Marathi stand-in. That's not how I like to do it. Marathi is Marathi. Tayrathi can go everywhere else. So that's what this means. So Neil, if you're taking Nurgle, you could take a Nurgle champion, give it a named hero, but you couldn't take the Glotkin and say it's a different character that you created. Sure. That's all this means right here. Mm-hmm. And essentially, this is just to help reinforce, like, get into the narrative mindset. Like, you can have fun with it, you can be serious about it, whatever you want. It's all fun.
And that's been your packs for years too.
Mm-hmm. Listen, it's this kind of always goes back to the original 8th edition when I started playing. And there's a line in there from Jervis that says, like, like, pick your general. That is you on the table. So it's kind of like that same feeling. Like, this is my representative on the table, even if it's not me anymore. I just, like, I can look at that. Like, even if I'm getting completely destroyed, even in competitive events, if I'm getting annihilated, well, I got to get this character out of here because she's my favorite. It's like an immediate, how do I salvage anything out of this mentally? It's like, well, if you can't kill her, then I win.
Yeah. Right. I think that's one of the things that AOS just kind of falls down on and has fallen down on ever since it was created, is that you don't get very good options to individualize your champions, which they came out with that oh geez, what was it called?
Anvil of Apotheosis.
Anvil of Apotheosis for a minute, and it was amazing. It had its flaws. It was very flawed. Don't get me wrong, but they could have grown on it, and they just decided to pack that away in a GHB and never look at it again. And I really hope they do come and revisit that at some point, because this is where I get a lot of fun out of the game, and where I used to get a lot of fun out of fantasy as well.
It's that
building those characters.
It's that balance. Do you want a balanced game system so every game feels like you can win, or and like you kind of, everyone has to kind of decide that at certain points. Me not being a competitive player, I'd rather things be asymmetrical and have more flavor and lore and that in the game, but that's me. Everyone's different. So right now the game is supporting more of the competitive play, where it's very well balanced and it's incredibly well written. Like, great. Like,
and it's, for me, it's something that doesn't need to be in match play. Just say this is what you have, but it's just for narrative.
Right. I think so, the early days where we had the 3 pillars of open, matched, and narrative. Like, we get rid of open. Like, no, I get it, but no, that doesn't count. Go away.
Open's still just narrative anyway. It's just
it's narrative with less, like, even like no. It's anyway. I wish they would be able to do match play focus and then give us the flavor for narrative beyond that. So I hope that, well, I mean, if we look at the general timeline of things, chances are next year we'll have the 4th edition. We don't know until we know, but okay, there we are. Anyway, and then the event schedule. So Friday's a little pre-hang, and then round 1, all that sort of stuff, hang out and dinners. Anyway, let's skip past that. No one cares about that, because you'll just follow my Instagram, strength_hammer, and you'll see nonstop action all day. And then you'll probably also see, if you follow Fit Hammer, he'll be there too, and he'll be posting nonstop action all day. All right, the awards, what everybody's after, Neil. Most important part of any event, right? Not the friends I made along the way. Fuck those people. It's about winning. If you ain't first, you last.
I've got an idea what I might go for here. I'm not going to reveal it.
Okay. That's fine.
I've got an idea.
That's fine, and I love that, because like, you and I are the same on that. I'm like, I'm gonna go for this one because I can go all in for it. I love that. All right, so Tayrathi's champion. That's gonna be the Tayrathi Classic event winners. Now in this case, it's gonna be a little odd, because there's 2 teams. So one team is going to be the winner, which means I have to have 10 trophies printed out. Maybe 11, I forget. No, I think it's 10. So easy peasy. Whichever team wins, everybody gets a small one, and I'm gonna do them smaller this year. not the full 8.5 by 11 for some of them. Next up, honorary member of the Tayrathian cult, player who kills the most units by points across all battles, including summoning. Because if you brought a summoning army, it's on you.
Spoiler: we'll not be going for that one, because I never remember to do it. So Dave, however, Yeah, he keeps that running tally for
Actually,
sure.
this year I think I might steal the whiteboard. I might make that running tally going nonstop so you can see game to game where you stand. Because last year, like the
No.
end, people were like, "Oh, I did this, did this." I'm just like, "Okay, I'm not." No, if you don't if I ask you a question and is your answer, nothing. You get nothing. That's how it's gonna
You
work.
get nothing.
Now, Neil, I've been talking a lot. Will you read a few of these awards for us?
Yep, yep. All right. So next one is Cool as Kane, coolest army by player vote. Will not be getting that one this year, so that one's off the list. Um, that is an Alex, or well, I mean, there's some new players here
There
too.
is,
So,
there is.
but I will say that the Alex is always one of those ones who's up for that award. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what he brings this time around.
Yep.
Um, let's see, Martin. Martin will be in the running for
Yep.
that one,
Martin
I'm sure
Orlando.
as well.
Yep. I
Mhm.
don't know what he's bringing actually. He said he gave me some hints. I won't reveal all his stuff. He gave me some hints, but it'll be fun.
All right. And then In the Halls of Cain, best narrative by player vote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Potentially, but I don't know that I'm going to have the time to cook up a real good narrative for my army here.
See,
So,
here's where
um,
I'm at with this one because I do participate in this. I like playing. Like this
mhm,
is when I've my philosophy when I ran Nova Open was run the event the players want to play in. And
mhm,
as soon as it reached a point where that wasn't the case, I'm so thankful James O'Brien was there because he's able to run the event that crew wants that attends Nova. So happy to
mhm.
see him excelling with it. I did make Tayrathi. I took the advice of almost all you hear from everybody else. Tayrathi is the event I want to play in, so I'm playing in it.
Mhm. Yeah. You writing that
But
narrative?
well, that's the thing. This is one. Okay, actually, there's two important things I have to work on. One is my narrative. The problem is I wrote the narrative for this event, so I have a feeling people are gonna look at me and just be like, "Nah."
Yeah, right.
Like I'm
Right.
like
There's some home cooking on this award right
might
here.
be some
Yeah.
hope. Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, that's fine. I'm gonna write it, but it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Um,
next up.
so next up we have friend of Kane, favorite opponent by player vote. So
Hmm.
a little bit of a award right there.
Yeah,
So
it's a fun one. Always makes you feel good. I was hoping I did invite him this year, and I will get him next year. Steven Mata over there in Columbus, you know him well.
mhm.
Uh, I want him to come because I'm like I want to see how he'd lose this award.
He did tell me that if you keep it on this date every year, he's booked on this date. So
Next year, due to some other people that might be flying in from another country, I might move it to an earlier date. We'll talk later.
saucy, saucy, love it.
Yeah, it's
He'll love to
saucy.
hear that as well because he is just very disappointed he cannot make it. So,
Yeah.
um, but that'd have been a tough call for him with Saturday being the MLS championship as well. The
Oh
crew in
yeah, yeah.
there. However, chances of that happening again next year probably
Well,
pretty slim.
no, I might move it to fall, like early
Fall.
fall, late
Ooh,
spring.
fall.
So like, I mean, don't forget this started out in July. This was a
Yeah,
summer event, and then I moved it to
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
It's just cozy. It's
Mhm.
just so cozy. I don't know.
It
Anyway.
is. It is with the snow outside the barn. So
Mm-hmm,
great.
mm-hmm.
All
Anyway.
right. Next, Bathe in Kane's Blood. Best painted hero by TO decision. Also out of the running in that because I know who's coming to this.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Basically, it
here's the
would
thing.
have to be like a 5-year-old. You'd have to invite only 5-year-old children, and then I got maybe a chance.
It's this is the thing too. Like this is an award I put in there. I'm just like, damn it, because I'm gonna invite. I know so many great painters, and I'm going to always invite them, which means like, fuck, I'm never winning this award either.
Yeah. I think the important thing here is that you have a single person decision on this. I've learned the hard way over years, flip flopping back and forth between having somebody, um, like somebody judge the paint and then
Right.
player votes. That you don't want to do player votes on paint. You just want
No,
to
no,
one person
it gets
knows what they're
subjective.
doing.
Now, here's the thing. Norm from the Toy Soldier, our local shop, he might stop by Saturday. He
Mhm.
usually does for this event. Now, he actually has experience as a paint judge. So my TO
Mhm.
decision might be to default to his choice. So we'll see. But
Mhm.
like that's always an option. Last year he picked the best narratives. So this year I
Yeah, I
might make
remember
him.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
But best narrative I think is better player vote because like it's the will of the crowd then. Like if people all like the funny thing that's like was it last year Mark made his Bretonians they were all members of QAnon or something.
Mhm.
Like it's fun. If everyone likes it, whatever, it wins. Anyway,
So funny.
there's a new new award now added this year, and this will be
Tayrathian Fashionista.
this is gonna
Best
remain.
costume by TO decision.
Yes, sir. And I say this knowing that my Marathi slash Tayrathi costume is completely torn to shreds other than the crowns and wings. Like
Mm-hmm.
it did not. I wore it twice. The first time it got me an award, second time it didn't, and then after that I took it off. It just ripped apart. I'm like, okay, it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm gonna leave this one on going forward. I like it so much, and it's like you don't have to be in costume the whole time. Like do it for a couple games. That's enough. We'll all know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
Are
All
you?
right.
Is this the one?
Well,
Is this the one you're going for, Neil? Is this the one you're going for? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
hard to say. Hard to say.
All right.
I've got ideas though. We'll put it that way. I got ideas.
All right. Exemplary awards. So every year, as everyone knows, if you've kept up with my bullshit, there's two awards: Tayrathi's Championship Belt and Tayrathi's Brick of Shame. And we've told the story about these belts and the bricks multiple times. As the event is growing, we are changing things because the way the world is, I want to make sure the belt's going to be there every year and the brick's going to be there every year. So if you win one of these awards, there is a specialized award. It will be 8.5 11, letting you know that you're that champion. And you'll also be able to take a picture with the brick or the belt, but I'm going to keep those in my possession going forward and just bring them out for the event. And obviously, if you win one of these, you're going to be added to this honor roll that you see here. Obviously, Tayrathi's Championship Belt, 2020, Bill Souza, 2021, Cole McGinnigal, and 2022, Matt Hayward. Brick of Shame, 2020 was Cole, 2021 was Neil, 2022 is Cole. Cole is racking up these awards.
Feast or famine, baby. Feast or famine.
It is. And the thing is, too, these are both by my decision only. And if you noticed, I'm not sure if anyone's seen this, because usually it originally started out as like if you won and lost, first place, last place. And these two people always, always, always get an invite back for the following year. Whether they take or not, that's fine. But this year, the championship belt is going to be the person that embodies the spirit of what would Tayrathi do during the event. And the Brick of Shame embodies the spirit of what would Marathi Kane do during this event, which kind of hints towards the narrative. I don't know how many people have seen that, so hopefully everybody listening to this right now who's coming to the event, clue in. And like I said, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of, and I'm not going to give it away, but I'm just saying, what would Tayrathi do? I mean, really, what would Tayrathi do? It'd be like, what the fuck would Chuck do? He'd down a couple shots and he'd go turn on Taylor Swift on the TV and tell everyone to go fuck themselves. I'm just saying, those things can happen.
That's right. That's right. Chuck is not calling the NFL in a fury over how much Taylor Swift is being shown.
No, actually, you know what? Hold on. As an aside, I'm so like people are just getting like fed up. Like at the first, okay, admittedly, the first couple weeks it was a little aggressive. All right, it was a little aggressive, and even they were just like, "Calm down, guys. It's fine." But it is so nice to see two people who are really happy supporting each other at any level. Like my wife supports me, I support my wife, and that's great. And it's the same thing, and it's just like it's all pure and it's wonderful. So if you don't like that, go fuck yourself. Also, they're both really good at what they do.
Right.
Like, how can you be mad about that? People are dumb. Anyway.
Shame that backward lateral pass the other night didn't get got called back.
I know. Oh, well. Anyway, let's go to the attendees for 2023. Now, this isn't the invitee list, because the invitee list was bigger. I had a few people who were unable to drop, or are unable to come, so they had to drop for various reasons. And like I said, we don't shame. We get it. Things happen. It's not a big deal. So I won't read them all. But obviously we say who was the belt holder, Brick of Shame holder. There's me, I'm the TO. And then obviously we had someone, Tom this year, he stepped up. He was willing to be the ringer. He's probably the least foot in on the Sigmar side, but he's willing to come have a good time and play and borrow an army. Like, he's definitely more fantasy. But yeah, we're looking like we're even right now. I actually built it so we would be odd. So Tom would have to fill in maybe a few times, but like Hey, now he's stuck playing it. Five
Too
games,
funny.
baby. 5 games.
Love it.
Although it might be a special surprise twist if you play him. We'll see. Anyway, location, Barn Owls Club. Good, I grabbed the version of the pack that didn't have the street address. Good job, me. I win. Alright, anyway, we're on to the narrative. This is where it's starting to get juicy. Neil, you feel like
You want me
reading?
to,
You want to read the
want
narrative
me to do
for us?
some story time?
I would like some story time, please.
All right, this is a little story time. Okay. The Great Hammerhall Trade Wars. As the great Dawnbringer crusades of Hammerhall Gyra and Hammerhall Aksha draw to a close, the political leadership of Hammerhall looks to reestablish trade with their most prestigious neighbors. The leaders of Hammerhall are petitioned daily by the many settlements across Gyra and Akshi. But recently, two caught their eye. Harkaran, on behalf of Marathi Kane, seeks to establish a trade partnership with Hammerhall, offering friendship and military might in exchange. The recently reestablished Tayrathi Temple Gyra, on behalf of Tayrathi, seeks new allies and supplies from Hammerhall, offering military might in exchange. Both offer a much needed reinforcement to the twin tailed city's armies, and the Hammerhall leadership agrees to establish trade with both Harkaran and the Tayrathian Temple, but they will offer the most lucrative agreement to only one. The leadership of Hammerhall knows it is dangerous to displease Marathi Kane, but they are aware of Marathi Kane's recent displeasure with Tayrathi and her failed defense of the Tayrathi and Temple Aksha by rampaging Ogors, and seek to pit Marathi Kane and Tayrathi in competition to see who will win the more lucrative of the trade agreements, knowing full well neither side will step down from the competition due to their own pride. Let's hope two Jedis don't show up.
I
By the
know
way.
that. Yeah, okay. All right. You picked up where I was with this. That's awesome.
Either the strongest of the two will win and see their warriors fill Hammerhall's ranks. They will destroy one another. Excuse me, at no cost to Hammerhall, who remains wary of the daughters of Cain after the sacking of Anvilgard, which they should, of which Marathi, Cain, and Tayrathi both played a part. Event
Yep.
details.
And I see
That's
some
next. So, yeah.
some typos I gotta go fix apparently. Whoops. Anyway. All right. So yeah, that's the narrative. That's what's driving it because I'm kind of thinking wrapping down. Obviously, the Dawnbringer Crusades are still happening, but they're kind of out. They're doing their thing. And now, if you look at the current story with the Dawnbringers and the Harbingers and such, those cities are kind of empty right now. So they would love these allies. And after Tayrathi lost the temple and had to flee on the KO ships, which were also the same ships that wrote an agreement that allowed them to represent them within the Caradron little wager we had at NashCon. So you see how this all ties together? See,
Yeah.
you following me?
Steve and I were having a discussion about that, by the way, the other couple days ago.
Listen. Whenever I explained before NashCon, I explained what I was doing with that to some of my most competitive friends in Sigmar, and every single one of them was just like, "Damn, that's good. Yeah, that's great." And I'm just like, that makes you feel good. Like they recognize the narrative enough, be like, that is fantastic.
Perfect.
But all right. Anyway, so yeah, I write my narrative. I'm gonna write my one-sided narrative of Tayrathi in this viewpoint and how it's gonna go down. But essentially, let's get to the event details. So, event details. Little thing. This is the other thing I need to figure out. I know what I want to do. I just don't know how to want to represent it physically. But based upon the event flow, artifacts of blood may be discovered to be used by team members for a single game. But these are not always beneficial. As each team gains these artifacts, they must be handed out before a round begins, distributed however the team sees fit amongst itself. So, I'm pulling this way back from when I attended Realms at War. 7 years ago? I don't know. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
There was this great thing where there was like these potions, essentially, the artifacts, and they started based upon what the teams did, depending on it, like or maybe it's random from the TO. We'll see, whatever the magic is. Each side, because there was 2 sides in that event as well, each side got a few, and like each round, 1 more is added. So by round 5, there's at least 5 of these floating in each team, and some were good, some were bad, and you could be like, you know what, you can ignore this negative effect, we'll give this one to you. You need this bonus, we'll give it to you. There was one round, I think it was game 3, I said, give them all to me. at the Realms at War, which means one person can take them all. Now I will say this: I looked at it and I read them, and it actually like, it was kind of like the double negative made a positive. It made me a little bit crazy overpowered, and we all stopped and I said, let's ask the TO. And TO, I think it was Jimbo, came over, read it, and said, "Yep, that's how that works. Have fun, everybody else on this table." Because I was just like, whoa, like turned into a blender. So I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write these things. So if someone can figure out the loophole within them that I leave open, have fun. um, so that's what these are gonna be. Nice little bit of fun, makes a little bit more interesting game to game.
Hmm?
Yeah, something fun. All right, how to win.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Neil.
All right. Players will pair up into two teams with the TO as the swing player if needed. One team represents the interests of the Tayrathian Temple, and one team represents the interests of Morathi Kane. Players will play a member of the opposite team each game, with their score adding to the total points of their team. The team with the most points by the end of game 5 will be the winner. So,
Actually,
scoring.
real quick, just a quick update. It's not going to be the TO's the swing player. That will be Tom, since he volunteered to be the ringer.
Perfect.
This was written before I had that in mind, so actually I will be leading the Tayrathian. Since I'm bringing Tayrathi, I'm going to be leading that side personally.
Perfect. So scoring. Scenario win is 30 points. A scenario draw, 10 points. A scenario loss, 0 points. Grand strategy equals 10 points. And general slain equals 10 points. Must be the hero picked to be the general.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Just a simple soccer with some fun scoring system added in, and I threw zeros in to make it feel good.
love it.
That's it. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, scrolling down. Now the battle pack. Actually, real quick, let's skip the battle pack. We're gonna go all the way down to the battle plans real quick, because the scoring people might be like, if I win, I only get 30 points. And we're not gonna review the battle plans here because it's kind of oddly in the pack set up. But these, all 5 of these battle plans. So the first one is on patrol. Second one is the Stormfront. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the names. The artifact. Maybe something else. I forget. Anyway,
You got a ritual in there too, right?
yeah, rituals in there too. I might have duplicated one. I'll figure it out. Anyway, all of these are pulled from either the very first book, Mighty Battles in a Age of Chaos or whatever it is, and
Mm-hmm.
the Rumgate Wars. Every mission.
Mm-hmm. Now, question,
Yes.
because I didn't dive this deep in the pack. Are you keeping deployment zones exactly as demonstrated the in this scenario, or are you putting like the 9-inch buffer in if the territories are next to each other?
No buffer.
No buffer.
No buffer. Actually, and most of the tables and mats we have are still 6x4, so we'll be playing full 6x4, which is what these missions were written on. If someone has
Nice.
this, if we have smaller mats, if what people are like, if that's what you have, Neil, that's what you're bringing, that's fine. We'll play on. We'll just shift it a little bit. But yeah,
Nice.
we are not playing 9 inches away. You want to get in there?
So you could start in combat on some of these potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
There's some that you don't want to do that. There's some that you might.
Okay.
But yeah, this is all about bloodshed, so we encourage
Sure.
that in the Tayrathian side of things.
I love.
So
And we'll about to speak a little bit more about that when we get into the battle pack here.
right, and I just scrolled back up. We're now at
Mm-hmm.
Battle Pack, Tayrathi's Blood. So I'll kick us off here. So Region 4, and I kind of went through a GHB and kind of pulled and adjusted, and keep in mind this is narrative. I did send it to, not send it to, I actually looked at it with some folks who may have some rules running experience at Games Workshop for Age of Sigmar, just to get some feedback. Knowing it was narrative, had some nice feedback, so got a few things adjusted in here. Wasn't really killing darlings as much as just like, hey, this is probably a question. Hey, can I do this instead? It's like, okay, that makes like, it kind of like, this might get you what your feel is, as opposed to what you like. Let's adjust the rule to be this because it fits the theme of what you're actually after. So that was super helpful. So there's some yeah, we got some strong writers in here.
Nice.
All right, so kick off Region of War, the Sanguine Faithful. Non-unique priests gain the Sanguine Faithful keyword. Units with priest on their war scroll also gain +1 to chant. Sanguine Faithful knows all the prayers from their army scriptures as well as the prayers in the battle pack. All Sanguine Faithful can attempt to dispel both spells and endless spells as if they were a wizard. A prayer can only be attempted a single time per player turn. Little anecdote there we'll see later. But Neil, how do you feel? What do you think I'm leaning into on this battle pack?
Seems like you're leaning into priests.
Yeah, because we haven't done that yet. And guess what? I always play the priest in Daughters of Cain. I'm rarely taking the spells.
Nice.
Current GHB, I'll take spells. But
Mm-hmm.
there we go. All right, and the little caveat here. So if a Sanguine Faithful successfully prays, they can pray for an additional time, suffering a single mortal wound as their blood powers the prayer. Now, but you must also roll an additional dice after the prayer roll, regardless if it's successful or not. If the subsequent roll of all dice has any natural roll of doubles, the prayer and all prior successful prayers are nullified, and nearby units, but not the priest, suffer D3 mortal wounds for each time the Sanguine Faithful has prayed. Sanguine Faithful cannot pray further this player's turn. Called Blood Prayer. That's essentially this ability is called Blood Prayer. I kind of put it in a weird place. However, this is the one caveat around only being able to pray a single time per player turn. You can pray as many times as you like, but each time you add one more, blah, blah, blah. The first player is 1 die, 2 players, 2 die, 3 players, 3 dice, etc. And you can repeat prayers. You can stack, you can stack the same prayers. Obviously, you can't stack them on the same unit, but you can this unit, this unit, this unit. You can do that, but you're risking a lot, potentially.
Okay. I like that. With the Minerva boys, we got that 5-up ward. We'll shrug it.
I'm not saying you won't shrug it, but here's what I'm thinking: Daughters of Cain. Like, oh, you know what? I want to get my 6-up faith roll. I want to get it re-rolled each time, and I'll start. Boom! I'll try and get it on 3 units, maybe 4. But if I screw up on that 4th one, all those other ones don't go off either, and I'm taking everything around me is taking mortal wounds.
That's right. Yeah, so they all don't go off.
They all don't go off. So it's kind of like, how do you want to do 1? Do you want to do 2 to be safe, or do you want to go higher? It's all about what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I wanted high risk, high reward for the narrative. So, and don't worry, people out there in chat. What if I don't have a priest? Well, don't worry. Neil's going to read us some unique enhancements.
Unique enhancements. Relics of the Cainite cults. Rune of Tayrathi is number 1. The hero gains the priest keyword. So
boom.
Bam, right?
Which means you're back into that top part. You got priest keyword now. You're also the Sanguine Faithful. Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
All right. Number 2. Chalice of the First Hag Queen. This hero has +1 to all prayers, priest only.
So that means, based upon being Sanguine Faithful, you have +2 technically if you take this.
Mm-hmm. Now these are artifact enhancements. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So, Shard of the Widowmaker is number 3. Now this one, I got to read this one because I read it the first time and I gave it a.
It's a lot of words. It's a lot of words. I know.
Not just a lot of words. I was starting to think about what it could do. So listen closely, kids.
This is what hero, Vince. If you're listening to my show for whatever reason, just ignore the next 10 seconds because you're gonna be like, "This is stupid." Because it's not what you like.
This hero can add +1 attack in the current melee phase, up to their total remaining wounds. But after they attack for the first time in combat, they immediately suffer a number of mortal wounds equal to the number of attacks they gained. So, if you had, say, what would they call it? The ogre on the Stonehorn.
Yep.
With his damage 4 weapon.
Yep.
Or whatever, damage 4, and he has a lot of wounds, right? 13 or 12.
Yep.
So he could add 13 attacks. Potentially have to take 13 mortal wounds, but he's got his 5-up save on those mortal wounds.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden, you're doing about 50 some damage.
Yes.
Potentially. That's where my mind went. Yeah.
There is. I realize I have deleted it out of here accidentally. This is a once per game
Okay,
item.
okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right,
So sorry,
okay.
yeah, I realize I've been updating things and I probably accidentally removed it in like formatting. So this will be once per game.
Okay, all right. Because I was having little palpitations there for a
Yeah,
little while.
no, no.
Okay, gotcha. I would love to make use of that, but with the Nurgle army where everything's damage one, um, that you could potentially put onto somebody, that's not going to do me any good, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, last one, the Shadow Crown. This hero is -2 to hit with ranged attacks and -1 to hit with combat attacks. Now, I'm assuming this also stacks with Lookout Sir, which would give him -3.
Correct.
Yeah,
This is
very
a
good.
throwback to Alathanar, who had the Shadow Crown, that he stole
Oh,
off Marathi.
nice.
All right.
All right.
Realm Sphere Prayers. Sanguine Prayers. Kane's Blessing. Pick a unit wholly within 12 inches of the priest. It gains +1 ward. If the unit has no ward save, it will have a 6-up ward. Because you know why? I like high magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at this and said, did I give this? Okay, yeah, and the prayers I'll add it too. I forgot to. The prayers are simply just on a 3-up as usual. You have your pluses. Ones always fail. That always continues. But this is one of the ones I looked at like, this might be interesting for folks to try and get multiple of and try and get them to risk reward that blood prayer issue.
Yep.
It's a nice easy one. Next up, Tayrathi's Blessing. Pick one unit wholly within 12 inches of the priest. It can fight for a second time in the combat phase. -1 to prayer rolls for members representing Marathi Kane's interests, though. So if you're trying to cast Tayrathi's Blessing and you're on Marathi Kane's side, it's -1 to your cast, essentially. So it makes it harder because Tayrathi's not giving that up easy. On the flip side, Marathi Kane's Blessing. Pick a unit wholly within 12 inches of the priest. It gains +1 attack in the combat. Once again, if you're on the Tayrathi side, -1 to chant this prayer. So you'll be on a 4. But you still have the bonuses. Ones always fail.
Mm-hmm. I like them.
Yeah, it's simple. Like I said, I know I want prayers to be going off left and right. So even like the minuses there, I actually maybe I'll shift those minuses to 2, make it a little bit harder. Offset some rules there. Now I'm thinking about that. Nothing like changing a pack the week before the event, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you one suggestion on
Sure.
Kane's
Yeah.
Blessing. So a Kane's Blessing, that's one that's really easy for the rich to get richer.
Sure. Yeah.
So on a unit of 10 Blight Kings with 41 wounds that are already a 5+ ward,
Mhm.
I'm taking that baby. I'm taking
Sure.
that baby every time and 2 times on Sunday.
Fair enough.
But and I don't have to try and roll it more than once. All
Right.
I need is that 4-up ward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards. Now, and I'm happy with that. I could try and get more of it because there's not a whole lot of risk to me doing that either. Because if I do it one more time and I get up to a 3+ ward, perfect. If I go back to my 5+ ward, I'm cool. I still got my 5+ ward anyway. So what I would say is make this rule. It has to go on a unit that does not already have a ward save.
Actually, I'm gonna reverse that. I know what I want to do with this, and you're gonna hate it.
I don't hate it right now. I think it's great. I'm going to use it.
I might take your idea. I'll think about it tonight after the podcast. I will either do that, or I'll make it that if you cast it and fail to cast it on a unit that has a ward save, they lose the ward save for that round.
Oh, I like that. Now there's a little risk reward
Right,
there.
right.
I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but might be easy with this up. So anyway, we'll see. I might slightly adjust that. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I know for the Tayrathi Marathi's Blessing, I'm just gonna make it that if you're casting these, you get no bonuses to prayer them. That might be easier if you're on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving on. Minor adjustments. Here we go. That's the fun part about narrative. We can have this fun and go like, oh, but you know what? I don't mind some craziness. That might be a little too crazy. We'll fix it.
I remember we were doing some for one of the bars events, right? And we were doing like a Q&A, and people were asking me, well, like, so what if this happens? I'm like, well, you're just gonna talk with your opponent, and you guys will figure out what makes narratively the most sense, and then go ahead.
There you go.
And then somebody asked me another question. I'd be like, well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna talk with your opponent. You'll figure out what narratively makes the most sense, and then you'll go ahead. And Bill Sousa was just looking in the background and goes, wow. This sounds really easy. Oh, like, yeah, you don't really have to. There's not a lot of
Mhm.
rules conundrums when it comes to
It's
narrative.
all right. This is all about fun, but like I will remove any.
Right.
I'll try to keep fill bads down, so that's fine. But
Hmm.
listen, so players, if you're reading it, just expect the changes to the prayers a little bit there. You'll see it in the pack, and it'll be one of the things either that I said or Neil said. So, all
Hmm.
right, command traits. Neil, you want to take this one away?
Let's do it. All right. Command traits: Disciple of Kraith. Um,
The
after this hero.
It's the best temple. Sorry, that's why it's there.
Oh, what's that?
Kraith is the best temple. That's why it's here.
It is. Absolutely, it is. Um, after this hero fights, you can roll a dice and add the number of the current battle round. On a 5+, they can fight again, but have the always strike last rule. A friendly unit wholly within 12 inches can also fight on a separate roll. I'm assuming that's a roll
Yeah.
of an
Oh, yeah. Yep. It is. Yep. Roll. Sorry.
uh, unmodified 6+. So you get your basic Kraith roll or your old Kraith roll with a 6+, and then you get a little boost
Well, yeah.
on a Kraith.
It's you start with that hero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if that hero gets that 5 up, they're the unit they're next to 6 up, and you get boom. You're gonna get two units to fight. Both will have the always strikes last, just keeping it the Kraith roll. But like I like attacking more than once, so it's in there.
I love it. Next, Kane's Endurance. Once per game in the hero phase, this hero can select to embrace the Endurance of Kane for the turn they cannot attack. For the turn they cannot attack, but for any damage they receive in melee on a 3+, the damage is ignored and the attacking unit receives one mortal wound. The hero negates all ranged attack damage in the turn. So you are you're soaking some damage with that one.
Right? Imagine if that nice beefy Stonehorn guy comes in with that sacrifice wounds for all that damage, and you're just like, okay, well, you're gonna kill my 5 wound hero here, but you're gonna die.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Shadow Agents, nice little counter there. Now, this is a command trait, so technically speaking, he could take this trait
Mm-hmm.
and the
Uh,
artifact. So,
no, he can't because there's no battalions to allow you to unlock something more than once. Or no, it's trait. Yeah, trait. So you
yeah.
can take a trait and an artifact. Yep, never mind. He could. He can't. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yep. You can't double up on any of these. It's you're picking one artifact and one trait essentially.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's what's
Because
locked.
you could probably pop this on him, then could he pop it back on you?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, here's the thing. You can't move in that turn. It's in the hero phase,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
he's not gonna want to.
Okay,
But
all
he
right.
could do it as a precautionary thing in case you never know. But you
Sure.
could have both of those just for fun.
All right, Shadow Agents. A hero with a command trait cannot be, or with this command trait, cannot be given an artifact of power in list building. Before the game begins, sorry, my contacts are drying out.
Oh, you're good.
This hero can randomly generate an extra artifact of power from either their battle tome or their opponents. The artifact must be given to this hero.
Right.
Nice.
Yep. So it's a fun way to. I want to see what rules might happen. Like, oh, I'm playing this person, and all of a sudden I unlock some Zinch artifact. Just roll
That's
for it
so
randomly,
great.
and it's on my character now.
That's so funny.
Yep. And I
All
hope
right.
that's the one I hope people take, just because like the shenanigans could be crazy on it. We'll see.
Hmm?
All right. Anyway, I'll do the next two here. Core battalions, hordes of Cain, battalions of any kind are not in use. The first turn is a roll off, no modifiers. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Nope. Yep. I love it. More of that, please.
Yep. Easy.
In every situation. More of that in match play too, please.
All right.
I know, like, there's probably people lining up outside my house, but boy, do I hate the whole deploy first thing.
Having
Auto choose.
deep back into fantasy as well as deep into Sigmar continuously. Um, I core battalions at first was like, oh, it's an interesting way to affect list building to give me some interesting thoughts to think about. It is not as interesting as honestly what I would do in the old fantasy days, where I'm like figuring out what to do with the last 100 points on like my. That was more interesting. The core battalions,
Mhm.
I don't find the interest in them. It feels too railroaded
Mhm.
to compete, so that's why I just don't enjoy them.
Yep. 100% agreement over here.
All right, grand strategies. Glory of the
Oh,
Cainite cults. So, aggressive negotiations. All friendly heroes fought in melee during the game. Easy. Some armies will like that, some won't.
hmm
The Blood of Faith. Successfully chant in every hero phase without rolling doubles per the prayer rule. So, if you take this, you just want to get one prayer off and not get any doubles during any of it on anybody. So it's like, if you have one priest and you just go like, I need this one prayer over and over again, it's worth a shot. Gotta keep them alive, though.
hmm
And then Martyr's Blessing. All friendly units must be destroyed by the end of the game. This includes any summon units.
I'm so tempted to take that one, but if I'm playing Nurgle, that's a tough one to go.
Yeah,
So,
well, I wanted them to all kind of be off the like a play sort of off of the grand strategy of um, Daughters of Cain, essentially, which is zealous, bloodthirsty zealots. Every unit has
mhm,
fought or died. So that's where the aggressive
mhm,
negotiations, Martyr's Blessing came from. Blood Faith is I'm really just pulling that from the current GHB's Magic role. So,
yeah.
and Neil, you want to finish up with the last two easy ones here?
Oh, yes. Battle tactics, K-Knight focus. Battle tactics of any kind are not in use. And core rules adjustments, Tayrathian, the Swift redeploy is D3 plus 3 instead of D6. And God bless you for that.
This is my favorite one. Out of
Yeah.
all this bullshit,
Yeah.
I hate redeploy in its current
Yeah.
form because
If you're me, you roll that one or two
it sucks.
constantly.
Yeah,
Constantly.
and it's
Almost without fail.
it sucks. And like I look at it this way, like okay, so let's say you're 3 inches away from me, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
You finish your move 3 inches away. All right, I'm gonna redeploy. I'm gonna redeploy minimum 4 inches
Mm-hmm.
because all of a sudden, you know, you're rolling average on 2 dice instead of you're still gonna get it because I rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now that said, the other fun thing too that makes it a little bit more tactically sound is it's a little bit easier for someone who's trying to be too cautious to move, and boom, you redeploy outside their charge range.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like this better. I wish this was in the core game as it is now instead of D6. It's
Yeah.
normalizing it, but still keeping it a little bit random.
And I mean, if it becomes that big of a problem, make it a 2 command points, thing to do. You have to invest more into it,
Right.
if it's, but yeah, again, there's nothing more frustrating. And if you want to call it an MPA, it's an MPA. When you roll that one on the redeploy, you're like, well, why?
Right.
God damn it. The same
Right.
on runs, by the way, too. The runs aren't as affected on the game, right? But when you roll that, like, okay, I'll run this one. Usually you're running your whole army. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. He only moved a little bit. But I don't know. That's frustrating too. You roll that one, you're like,
Well, see the run. I feel it's hard. I thought about putting this on the run as well. For some reason, my brain said that wasn't going to be a good idea to do it on both.
yeah,
And I feel
no, the run doesn't really have an effect
it's
as much as like with you moving out of a combat range.
yeah.
That's an entire maybe rounds worth of combat you might have just avoided. That's huge,
Right. Where the run too, there's so
You
many
can make up the extra 3 inches at some point, right?
right.
It's not a
And there's
yeah,
so many armies out there like Daughters of Cain, especially. I can just run and charge anyway. So if I roll,
right.
and I especially Daughters of Cain, because I'm +1. So like my first roll, no matter what, is minimum 2.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
sure, whatever. Like it's movement is king, but like playing that much of movement would probably be a bit of a nightmare because then people are D3 plus 3 movement, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to redeploy this now. And it's just like, okay, well,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
hmm
I felt keeping on the one was probably the best call there. So
Yep.
there we have it.
Yeah.
There we have it. I got to do a few minor adjustments to correct a few things to make sure that we all have a good time. But that's the pack for this year. So let's boom, 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 and we are back, Neil. It's just the two of us now again.
All right.
Let's move us over to an appropriate side. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, there's the Tayrathian pack, 2023. After I get these adjustments made, I will be putting them up on my blog, strengthhammer.net. So if you want to use it for your own fun, have fun. Do it. If you do, let me know. I hope you enjoy it. Or take it and change it into what you want it to be. Be like, Chuck's stupid. I'm putting battle tactics back in, but Chuck's smart. We're gonna keep this endurance of Cain. Like whatever you want.
Don't do it. Don't put them back in.
Don't leave them out forever.
Let them die.
So yeah, so if you're coming to this event and you're watching this video as a way to prepare, be sure to read the pack that I will post up with the final adjustments. Be sure to bring a hangover cure. Because we, but no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's
Me too.
the one thing that I will say about what I like about it being at the end of the year is it's the perfect cap to the year
Yeah.
for me.
Sure is.
But we'll see. We'll see. I'll move it if I have to get some people from across the sea over in time.
Mhm.
But Neil, any more insights, questions, or anything you're looking forward to most at Tayrathi 2023?
Oh, well, you know what I'm looking forward to most is the um, just the camaraderie, just the scene, just the feel of the event and everything. I'll roll the dice. We'll have some fun with that, as I always do. But you know, it's a time to be appreciative of all the things that you have. Especially this event is all about the gaming buddies I have, and getting together with them and spending time and meeting some new friends too. So we'll see. There's going to be some people I haven't met here before, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, be a good time. And like I said, best part is it's narrative. Everybody wins all the time. But if you ain't first, you last. So only one side can win. I suppose we'll probably do a post show next week potentially on this.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll invite on Big M or Cole or Dave or someone else that wants to jump in from the event, and
Somebody who won the
maybe
belt
we'll
winner,
see, we'll see who wins
brick
the belt.
winner potentially.
Well, I mean, the way Cole's going, he's a shoo-in for that brick. It seems every year except for one. So we'll see.
His AOS. I think he might be winning this year.
No, because it's
That's up to you,
don't
though.
forget
That's up to you.
the championship
Yeah,
belt and the brick are not based upon win-loss anymore.
it's true.
If you want the belt, what would Tayrathi do? And that's not
Uh-huh.
that's on and off the gaming table. Same thing for the brick. What would Marathi Kane do?
Yep.
There we go. All right. Anyway, everybody, stay Stormcast strong. Happy hobbying. Wish us a safe and happy weekend because we'll be rowdy. But it'll be fun. Take care, everybody.